Ahoy, Captains! Welcome back to another Skull and Bones video. I'm going to save you the trouble and just tell you to join the Dutch. Alright? Okay, enjoy the rest of this video, pretty much step by step. Alright, looks like our first quest that we want to go after is a marked trail. Let's go talk to Scurlock and see what he has to say.
We can't let the damned mega corporations win this arms race. Get off your ass, or it'll be your neck. If we find the source of these weapons, we hit the fucking motherlode.
Next, we go speak to Scurlock's contact at Litra. Alright, next up, we got to sink some Pharaoh warships to draw out the Mazurja, I believe, just north of Litra here. So we're going to sink these guys, and then we have to, that's going to draw out the boss, and we got to sink that one too. So that's the next steps.
I'm going to get you back!
Once you've defeated the boss, you'll be sent to Moyang Creek to pick up a logbook. And this logbook is just off the shore once you land. Right up here. Go ahead and pick it up. Next, we're going to have to find a Clan of Pharaoh military camp. And looks like the Clan of Pharaoh military camp, took me a second to find, is at Dragon's Back. So travel to Dragon's Back and purchase a shipment.
A large prize.
Alright, first quest completed. Got 300 guild marks for that. Alright. Next, we gotta purchase marked shipments from a company officer to track the agent's trail. Locate the corrupt company officer. Looks like we can go to either St. Anne or Taok. So I think I'm gonna go to St. Anne. Alright, in St. Anne here, looks like the faction broker, the guy we need to talk to, is just past the blacksmith here. So let's go find him.
Do you think you fit the
Alright,
bill
nice
of
little
the
setup.
Ocean's toughest pirate?
Greetings, Captain. I take it you're interested in some work. The mega corporations wage war on our shores. Their fighting can be our fortune.
Alright, the fires of war. Who do we pick? Alright, let's see what the seasonal journey has to offer here. What's the first one? Strengthen whole health by 2%. Definitely going to go for that. Alright, like I said earlier in the video, looks like we need to complete quests in order to unlock some of these nodes. Checking out what we have to do here in our journal. The next thing we want to do is rise to power, looks like. And that means we're going to sink all the Indian Ocean's most wanted. Alright, let's get it. Once you're done defeating all those bosses, next on the Against the Tide You're going to want to purchase a marked shipment from a corrupt company camp, and that's going to be at Mangrove. Next, we will be sailing just north of Elder's Cave. So go ahead and fast travel over there. Alright, you're going to sail up over here, and your main objective in this is you're going to take out some enemies. You're going to find a shipwreck. You're going to open a container. It's going to send you further upriver, and you're going to take out a blockade and sink a commander here at Camp Mangrove before you can progress. And go ahead and dock at Mangrove. And this location took me just a second to find. It is actually behind us here. So if you look around, over there and over there, where is it? Where's it on the map? So if you just run around, kind of towards where you get onto dock your ship, you go down this dock here, and then you can find the other agent's logbook here. Go ahead and pick that up. And there we have completed Against the Tide. Quest completed. Next quest is the Quiet Pole. And it looks like the next location we're going to be traveling to is Dutchman's Camp. Alright, let's head there. Once you're sailing in this location, you'll defeat a few enemy ships, and then you'll head north to the Forgotten Candy. Alright, go ahead and dock and head up to the marker to progress on in the story.
I am familiar with your exploits, Captain. You and I are known for making our fortunes off chaos. You sink your enemies for riches. I, Lucian Harrow, provide the means for factions to wage war on each other. That is business. It is important to know one's place. We cannot make coin off the dead.
Alright, after that, you're going to open up this shipping container here, search for clues in it, and then you're going to go talk to Scurlock.
Lucian fucking Harrow. The bastard has wealth, resources, and firepower we can only dream of. Right now, we won't be able to so much as tickle his ass. Still, at least we have a name. A name, a face, a target.
Alright, the Quiet Pole completed, quest completed. Let's go ahead and check out this seasonal progression here. I think I got another low node to unlock. Alright, what do we got? 50 to ship armor. Alright, let's get it. That unlocks more to our tree here. What's next? We gotta defeat the Zamaribu, the Shadow Beast, and Megalostari. Alright, easy money. Damn, that shark almost landed in my ship. The first place we want to go here, looks like, is we want to go to Litra, speak to the sea hunt master, and get some monstrous bait so we can go hunt some sea monsters here. And the first sea monster we'll take on is the Shadow Beast. Also, once you have the monstrous bait and the flares, you will just keep them in your inventory, and then you can set them off once you get to the location. Couple tips for making this an easy fight. Make sure your ship build is equipped with long guns, so you can be at range when you're taking on this sea threat. Alright, next let's go defeat Zamaharibu. A couple tips for this battle is I like to use torpedoes, and also the Infernal Maw works great for these sea-based, ocean-based sea monsters. Next up, Megalostari, my personal favorite. Tips for this fight: just let Lestari come to you. Infernal Maw works really good, the Spring Loader, and also Torpedoes works really good. Alright, we got the sea monsters taken care of. Got some extra perks we're going to get here. I believe the next quest we're going to take on is go sink the Roadman Godin, the ghost ship. So let's go tackle that. Alright, fast travel to Forgotten Candy, and we'll be picking up Essence of Spirit to summon the Roadman Godin, the ghost ship. Alright, tips for this boss. You want to take out the weak points first, as you might already well know. Pick a tanky ship. Long guns work really good. Rockets work pretty good on this guy. And just trying to decipher which Roadman Godin, which ghost ship to go after is the best way to take him out quickly. Moving on in our seasonal journey here, we have to take on and defeat all of the Sea Lords at their domain. So that's the Huback twins, that's Ling Tang, that's Vikram, and that's Lepest. Alright, so let's get into that. First off, we need to go buy some flares from Blackwood before we can summon them. And then we just fast travel to their location, pop a flare, and defeat them. Some tips for defeating these bosses is basically just don't go it alone. Make sure you got you're in a party, or you have other captains there along with you to take on some of these bosses, so you can just farm them and get it done fast. And also pick the proper ship for the proper job, basically. Make sure your loadout can contest with the boss that you're taking on. Just to let you guys know that you can find this ship build in a lot of other Skull and Bones videos that I've made in my Skull and Bones playlist. So please check that out. I have pretty much a ship build for every ship there is in the game, and I've covered the game since its launch. So please check out my other content. Definitely my next video will probably be the fully upgraded Sloop of War once I get that done. Now that we've defeated all the Sea Lords, we can continue on our seasonal skill tree here. Find out what to do next. Alright, next quest is Jailbird. I think we'll unlock a note or two here before we move on. Alright, the first thing we want to go to, I believe, is St. Anne to start this mission and talk to Blackwood.
Sodding DMC. They captured one of our own, Captain. A fearless rogue we could use on our side. All we managed to save was his ship. You should take its helm, Captain. Use it to take the fight to the Dutch and steal back our own. I'm sure our friend will be grateful and generous.
Alright, here's our opportunity to test out the Sloop of War. See what it has to offer and see what kind of damage it does. Alright, so we're going to head over to Kelawar Chamber. And we're going to talk to the corrupt DMC officer here. He's going to tell us what to do. Give us a note. And we're just off the shore. The ship is just off the shore of Kelawar Chamber, so just hop in your ship and you can sail right up to it and go ahead and jump on it. Alright, so let's go do that. Let me tell you, this thing is a lot of fun. It scoots along the water and just decimates every ship it comes across. So can't wait to unlock this in the Smuggler's Pass. I think about halfway there. Alright, this has us sinking some DMC warships. So we can draw out Captain Finch's captor. That captor is Captain Hawk, so we'll go ahead and sink him. Next we have to rescue Captain Finch from execution. And that is we have to plunder Lar to stage 3. Next, we have rescued Captain Finch, and we're going to bring him to the necropolis. Yeah, we'll go talk to him.
From one captain to another, thank you, mate. With the mega corporations out for blood, we pirates need to stick together. I was going out of my mind. rotting behind those bars? I saw everything. Countless weapon crates came through every day. They were all marked with the same star. Definitely not from French or Dutch flags. You see that star, Captain? You follow it.
Alright, Jailbird quest completed. Next quest is the Phoenix's Hunt. We gotta go talk to the Phoenix Talon's crewmate. Node on our seasonal journey. Next, the Phoenix's Hunt. And that location is at Kokok-Terapong.
Our Captain Tian Ying has her eye on the Compagnie convoy. She wants something from its cargo. We tried laying a trap for those bastards, threw everything we had at them. We barely got out there alive, and we're still licking our wounds. Lend us a hand, and I'm sure our Captain Tian Ying will split the spoils with you.
Alright, this has us just traveling just west of the location, and we have to sink some convoy ships. Alright, go ahead and travel back to the crewmate to go talk to him again.
Tian Ning and her crew got payback against the Compagnie, and you picked up a nice fat treasure chest. But you need the key for it. The good news is, we know it's been kept at La Bastille. Don't worry, Captain. We haven't forgotten what you did for us. Call on us and we'll be there, cannons roaring. We'll pry that key off their ugly corpses if we have to.
Alright, next step, this took me just a second to figure out. Send a signal for the Phoenix Talon's fleet. We actually have to head up to the Pirates' bonfire here, and so we can send a signal that way. Now that the Allied forces have been alerted, we're going to go plunder La Bastide and search for their key. Alright, with La Bastide plundered, our quest has been completed, the Phoenix's Hunt. Here that you can find at the blacksmith is Dare to Ascend, and all you have to do is ascend any equipment that you have that you want to upgrade. And so go ahead and do that. They really did a good job, so thank you, Skull and Bones team. Alright, next, moving on in our seasonal journey. It took me a long time to actually find these quests and where to activate them, where to find them. We can find them at the Faction Broker in St. Anne. I believe after we've completed the first Faction War quest.
You look like someone who can crush.
So we'll go talk to him. And here we can find Contested Tides, Season Supply, Oaths Unspoken, and Hunting the Past. Which should, besides defeating Lepest and Vikram and plundering Fort Wolvenhall, then that'll be it. So we'll be covering the rest of that in the rest of this video. Okay, Contested Tides has us sailing to a contested territory and sinking warships from the opposing faction. Alright. Season Supply has us earning 500 war assets. Should be pretty easy by doing any of the war events. Next is Hunting the Past, which you can earn any Compagnie military relic by plundering Fort Deleu or any of the Compagnie forts. Last, oaths unspoken. Help your faction win a fort defense or a war convoy war event. Alright. All these can be completed by pretty much doing any of the war events that are around and contributing to your faction. Alright, for contested tides, we need to go around and sink 5 opposing factions' commander warships. So we can do that pretty easily. Next up is season supply, and I just completed a war cargo event to complete this quest. Not too difficult. Pretty straightforward. Alright, next was hunting the past, and I already acquired some military relics from plundering forts. You plunder like Fort Deleuze, any companion fort, to get these military relics, and I delivered it to Houston Captain. Alright. Next, for Oaths Unspoken. I completed the war event fort defense to complete that one. Oh my gosh, look at that whale. Whales are good luck in this game. Alright. Let's see what we've unlocked so far. We're at 53%. We've completed contested tides. We've completed season supply. We've completed hunted past. And we've completed Oaths Unbroken. Some toxic damage. Definitely all these nodes are super helpful. We get all these perks till the end of the season, so happy about that as well. Alright, let's move on to the Wolves Hollow and sinking the Pest and sinking Vikram and completing this seasonal journey. Alright, first up is the Wolves Hollow. And all you have to do is start a call to arms from your map, and then you're going to join in with other captains to this event. So I did that, completed that. Unlocked the next node on our seasonal journey tree. Bombard damage, definitely. Long gun damage, definitely. Alright, next, sinking the Pest. Still looking forward to unlocking the Sloop of War. So I could be just like the Pest himself. Alright, to complete these ones, we need to go, turn in our bounty here to Blackwood.
With all the pies Mr. Julian has his hands in, his demands will only grow.
Mortar damage. Torpedo damage. Alright, next let's go sink Vikram. Like I said, just find these boss's location on the map, start a call to arms, and then you're good to go.
one of them.
Alright, return to
I think I
Blackwood
remember
and turn
meeting
in
a
this
prissy-eyed
bounty.
pirate like yourself before.
With all the pies Mr. Tulin has his hands in, his demands.
And that should just about do it for the missions that we have to complete on our seasonal journey skill tree here. So we can go through, purchase all the nodes. Alright, 3% to damage to cannon damage. And so this is kind of funny. It says that this is all completed, right? So it says it's 97% completed, not 100% completed. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's kind of funny there. Alright, this first couple mission we want to go on is Faction War. It's going to have us do, and we want to sink a couple captains and collect some war assets. So how I did this is I went to a contested area here, and I went and plundered the Grand Fort, or a fort if you're the other faction. And this, by doing this, this drew out the captains that I needed to sink, and I acquired the war assets pretty quickly by doing this. Alright, there you see, that part's done. Alright, next, we need to go speak to the faction broker in St. Anne or Taok. That's just right up here past the blacksmith, kind of across from where death tides are. Right over here. This is going to unlock access to our faction war rewards. Alright. Based on what faction we picked, the premise of the whole faction war is to try to gain as many war assets for our chosen faction as we can, to be the victors at the end of each battle period and by the end of the season. And so how we want to gain as many war assets as we can is that we want to farm these war events that are going on around our map and around the world here. There's 3 to pick from, as far as I found. We have Fort Defense, we have War Cargo, and we have Royal War Convoy. Alright, the first one we're going to check out here is War Cargo. Basically has us traveling to a location in the contested area of the other faction, and we're going to be picking up a cargo here, and we just want to deliver it to the location, try to get past these enemies that are going to be trying to sink us the whole time. Then we're going to go ahead and dock, and this is going to give us 400 war assets for completing this war event. So pretty good. So farm this one continuously. Alright, so the next war event we're going to be covering is the Royal War Convoy. Just like any other convoy, you want to sink all the ships that are in the convoy, and that's basically it. This will give us 200 war assets for completing this quest, or this event. Alright, next up is Fort Defense, where we're going to have to fend off enemy ships for 5 waves of enemy attacks, enemy bombardment. So do this in a party, works the best. Again, thanks for watching. Please check out my other Skull and Bones content, and see you out on the high seas.